The Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, FOCAC, is a platform established to enhance cooperation and dialogue between China and African countries. It was launched in 2000, with a meeting taking place every 3 years since its inception. This year, over 50 African heads of states traveled to Beijing for FOCAC 2024, where the 2024 to 2027 action plan was presented. Here are some post-FOCAC insights from selected scholars in the Africa-China space.
The Forum on China-Africa Cooperation is, I think this year was one of the biggest, because about 50 African heads traveled to Beijing for this particular summit. So as usual, China announced substantial financial commitment to support various initiatives across the continent and outline some key areas also for future cooperation. So as the summit ended, I think the most discussion and critical issues such as sustainable financing and the need for genuine investment strategies to foster long-term growth has emerged as one of the central themes. The summit outcome, which were welcomed by most African leaders, now has reaffirmed China's position as one of Africa's most important development partners. Over the years, it has been the West and the Global South partnership, and the presence of China in Africa now has given a new dynamics to this relationship, or this partnership. So now we could see the big presence of China in Africa in almost all sectors in Africa, and to me, I think is good, looking at the fact that most of the partnership from China now is project-oriented basis, so that it wouldn't be just giving of loans and then you pay, but see to it that the money that they are giving is towards a particular project that will help the general development of African nations. One of the most important outcomes that emerged out of this summit was China's pledge to implement about 1,000 small but beautiful livelihood projects to promote sustainable development in Africa. I think this is a very good call, but the question most people are asking is, how should African countries navigate sustainable development against the need for big development projects for industrialization in their national context? For me, I think these three important sectors should take the central stage: the energy sector, the agricultural sector, and then the transport sector. So from the energy sector, we should invest in renewable energy. So the focus should be on development of renewable energy, such as solar, wind, small hydropowers, and geothermal. These are already in abundance in Africa and will help us to provide sustainable and clean energy. So this will also create small-scale projects that will empower the local communities through decentralized energy solutions, and it will increase the industrialization, especially at the local front. The other sector I want to touch is the agri sector. I believe that when you look at the employment dynamics, most of the population, or most of the populate in Africa, most of them are employed by this sector, that is the agri sector. So we should focus on supporting the smallholder farmers to get access to emerging technologies, training, and then finance. And also we should have value chain development. I think that is what most African nations are lacking now. So the focus should be on developing agricultural value chains that enhance local processing and add value to raw products. We tend to export our products in the raw form, which do not attract much dividends. So we should add value to them, especially from the local source, even before we move them to the market. So this creates job opportunities in the processing industry, marketing, and then distribution, ensuring that communities benefit from agricultural growth at their community level. And by so doing, it will help us to also set up the big industries at the various towns, which will help accommodating these products from the agri sector. And the last sector I want us to look at is the transport sector. So transport, we should be looking at the public transport expansion, which I think most African nations are on it because of loans from China, and then technological transfer from China as well. And then the other thing is the rural connectivity. Most rural areas in Africa, it's difficult to commute. So if you're able to expand these sectors, I believe that it will help with the agri sector and then the energy sector to expand. So it's important that we just do not collect the loans, and then it becomes a debt trap for us. But we can put them into this use, especially focusing on these three sectors that I've just mentioned. So by adopting these sector-specific strategies, African countries, I believe, can effectively navigate the balance between sustainable development and industrialization. So the focus on small-scale, community-driven initiatives within the energy, agri, and then the transport sector can create jobs and promote local development. So if we are able to produce most of what we need at the local front, I believe that it will reduce the burden on importing such goods from the other countries, which we spend a lot of money importing goods. And if you're able to do that, it gives birth to our industrial development, and then it reduces the burden on foreign dependent products. So this is my thoughts and my submission on the just ended FOCAC meeting in Beijing.